We are live, so that we can get
Yeah,
a few
okay.
things ready. We're going to get started here in
Minutes.
just a couple minutes.
How do I know?
I know there's a lot of people. There's a few people probably over watching Andrew, the other Andrew.
Yeah, I just saw that he was on.
What's he playing?
I
Oh,
don't know what he was-
he's playing Stardew Valley.
Okay, I didn't know what it was. I like to jump in on his and play marbles.
Marbles?
Yeah,
Let's see.
I haven't been on his in a while.
I got a live for.
Ours says live.
Yes, I don't see it on Geek Together. Although Geek Together shows that we're live. Oh, there it is. Just a little delayed.
Yeah, mine still says offline on the side, but it says live on the picture.
So Rex,
We're
I have a
live
few other things.
somewhere.
We're live somewhere.
Yeah, we're live
probably
somewhere.
YouTube.
It
We're
says
going
live
live
on
on
Get
that.
Together.
Yeah, I got it live now. I'm just waiting
Yeah.
for some people to show up.
There
It-
it goes.
it
Now it
sends-
popped up.
I was going to say, it sends something out and people start joining us here in a few minutes. Rex, I have a few things I want to chat with you about maybe this week on growing a few more things. So
Yeah, cool. I'm all down.
as we go through, hey, the Incredible
Incredible
Hulk's
Hulk.
with us. Yep, he's with us. Thanks for joining us. We're going to just give it a few minutes and the notification just went out. So we'll see who joins us. Oh, the notification mentions Gary. Because Gary dropped in on Geek Together the other night. Twitch is
Yeah.
really bad about that. Hey, it's Coach JD. Our Twitch is really bad about updating what's actually going on. So if you're joining because you thought Gary was going to be on with us, Gary's not on with us.
Let's see here.
So yeah, there's the Steph Hill. All right,
Phil,
I'm gonna launch this.
Larry.
Hey everybody! All right, here we go. You can see our pretty faces now.
Howdy, everybody.
You are joining. It is Monday night. This is the Collector Showcase brought to you by Toy Rewind and Geek Together. We are the Brothers Newland. I'm Andrew.
I'm John.
And I'm Michael.
Come backwards.
It's backwards. It goes there. So when we record the podcast, Michael starts first, and it goes that way, and it's got to be in order. Otherwise, it drives us crazy. So this is our Collector Showcase. This is episode 2. So if you saw my tweet and my post on Instagram earlier, I did use the hashtag of "We aren't canceled yet." And next week, hopefully, I'll get to use the hashtag "Still not canceled." So we'll see how that goes. We have this week, we're talking video games. We have a real good buddy of mine who we worked together at a TV station quite a few years ago, and he knows what it means when you get canceled. So it's kind of a nice joke. But this is Rex down here in the bottom corner with us.
Hey, how's it going?
So really, we just want to talk about video games. That's all most of what we're going to talk about. I know that you've collected for quite a few years now. You were collecting when we were working together. So
Yeah, and first of all, just to clarify, we worked together and we literally were in the same office. I think your desk was like 6 feet away from mine. So we were constantly talking with each other, sharing toys and sharing what we found in the wild. So yeah, we definitely have a history.
Yeah. So, and let me show you this. I want to show this picture. So this is me and Rex. This is from, this 2014?
I think it's 2013, maybe.
2013. So this is even further back than I thought. And I have to tell you, so not everything that is on this desk was Rex's and mine. We did borrow a few things from a few other people that were at our office. But this is, my entire collection is on this desk. And as you notice, if you're watching this, there's only 2 Funko Pops, and that's all I had at the time. So this is before I bought my first Batman and before I went crazy. So this is how far back me and Rex go. We go back quite a ways.
Yeah, and this was actually, I think we were entering a contest on Facebook, and the contest it was take your action figure to work day,
That's right.
and I think it's like we don't just take our toys to work, we take an entire army, and
Yeah,
I think we won
take
second
an entire-
place. So
Yeah. And I know we received I know of one pop that we received because it's still in my collection, and that's the original Spock. So I've got it. It's
Nice.
somewhere in all my box. But incredible how he did point out that is Invisible Bilbo, and that is one of the OG Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's the second movie where he's got the gold eyes. So it's a great little stuff. It's just how far back we go. I remember going to garage sales, hitting things and seeing video games and calling you, and then you'd hit the garage sale right after me, or we'd try to hit things and share. And so
oh no,
a lot of
there was a time where you said, oh, there's a garage sale right across the street from my house, and I left work to go there.
right, yeah. So that's how far back this goes. And so I wanted to talk to you just about your video game. I'm going to say obsession, and it's not a bad thing, especially in this group of people that are on with us. We're going to try to answer some questions, see what they think. There's a specific thing I want to talk to you about when we get there. But
Okay.
but how did you get started with video games? Like, give us your history on this.
Well, I don't think I took collecting too seriously until I got into college. I would just go out to Babbage's, and when everyone was still buying N64 and GameCube, I was collecting the old stuff, old NES and Sega Genesis, because at the time it was still relatively cheap. You could still go to Babbage's and get a game for $2, $3. So every time I would go there, I'd get a couple games, and before I knew it, I had a pretty decent collection. So
Okay, wait. What is Babbage's?
That's what my
Oh, you
question.
don't-
because I'm assuming you're from Georgia, right? Originally
Yeah.
from Georgia.
okay, yeah.
And I'm assuming this is the Georgia because I don't know.
Well,
Babbage's
there was
is.
Babbage's, there was EB Games, there was Software Etc., and there was Funko Land. And I think at one point, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think GameStop ended up just buying all of them.
They might
So-
have, because a couple of those sound familiar to me, but I've never.
But Babbage's was usually in shopping malls. So a lot of the current GameStops probably were Babbage's at some point, but it's basically just like a GameStop.
Okay,
Cool.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so I didn't really start taking it seriously until I was in college, and I had extra money and I had extra time. Then I started going to flea markets and thrift stores and eventually yard sales. So yeah, it started off just kind of innocently, and then it just kind of developed into an addiction.
I mean, it's definitely something that can be an addiction because video games, like you said, they're a lot of fun, and you get a little more enjoyment out of video games than what I possibly get from my collection of just toys. They sit on my shelf, and I don't play with them a lot.
Oh
But
no,
I'm assuming you play these for the most part, right?
I do, but not all of them. In fact, probably not most of them. I've just got way too many to get through, and it's almost overwhelming. Because it's been a while since I've done a count, but I probably have at least 3,000 games.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So yeah, I could if I quit my job now and spend the rest of my life trying to beat all these games. I don't know if I could do it. So
That's
all
a lot
right.
of playing time there.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. So what do you collect the most? Like what? If you see something, you just got to get it.
Probably any old Nintendo stuff, anything cartridge based. NES is probably like my favorite console to collect for, but I'll get pretty much anything. One thing I really like collecting for is the TurboGrafx 16. It's very hard to find stuff for that system though, and when you do, it's pretty pricey. But I try to pick up that stuff when I can. But yeah, mostly Nintendo stuff.
Okay. Before we get too far, I don't want to miss this. And if I'm looking at 3 different screens here because I got the iPad over here so I can see what's going on. But we are
Just got rated. So.
we got rated. So it's a What the Duck. It's a Curious Rate. So from Nerdy
Yeah,
Curious.
from
Okay.
Nerdy Curious.
I was trying to figure out because
Two of
I
them
was-
said the same thing.
That I was confused because I was like, is it a Curious raid or is it a Mac Duck raid? Because I know Mac Duck was on. I don't know if he's still on. So that's the Duck thing threw me off. So thanks to the Curious group, the Nerdy Curious group, I guess they just went offline. So that and they rated over on us. So if you're here with them, awesome. Stick around. We're talking.
Welcome,
video
everybody.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Rex. We'll do that again. This is Rex. He collects video games. So yeah. All right. So you're into regular NES games,
Hmm.
and you don't play all of them, but it seems like you play most, or there's a good amount that you play. I wouldn't say most. You got 3,000. Like that's a lot.
Yeah,
So I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's a
I'll
lot.
be honest. Lately, anytime I play a game, I'm usually just playing the Switch, just because it's convenient and there's a lot of old NES and Super Nintendo games on there anyway. So usually when
Right.
I play, I'll just pick up the Switch and play something.
That was
Yeah,
gonna be
that's I've got a Wii U that I have a lot of the. Well, I've got most of the Zelda games, of course, on there. So that's how.
that
I
was that was going to be my next question. Is so I mean, obviously you're getting these old school cartridges, but do you still get the digital stuff like for the Switch and everything also when you can, right?
I prefer physical, just
Okay.
because I like something that I can have and hold and like you said, put on a shelf and just kind of stare at and let it eventually collect dust. I'll buy digital occasionally if it's on sale or if it's something that isn't available physically, but I usually strive to buy the physical copy, even if I have to wait a couple months. I'll usually just wait for it.
So that's where I think we differ a little bit on that. For me, what do you prefer, John?
I do most of mine digital. The kids have torn up so much of our. Well, they're older now too,
Yeah.
so I could probably actually do it. But with all the new ones with the discs that came out and stuff like that, they would tear those up. So I do have the NES and the Sega that you gave me that has cartridges. So, but yeah, most of what I have is all digital.
What do you prefer, Michael?
Yeah. Mine, I'm more like Rex. I like the physical cartridge, disc, whatever it
So-
takes. Yeah.
So I prefer the digital because I don't have something sitting on a shelf where I got 100 other things sitting on a shelf. But also, John, I think what I noticed here is the two people on here that have kids who have seen things get torn up prefer digital, whereas the two
Probably.
over there, oh, sorry, they're over there. The two over there that don't have kids, they don't get torn up, so it's not so bad.
I don't have that problem. No.
No, yeah, I've got two cats, but they're not allowed in here, so that's not a problem either.
Yeah, so you don't have that problem, but and Michael's got 150 dogs, maybe. How many dogs do you have now, Michael?
I got 6.
6. Okay, and I'm assuming they don't get into your collection of there.
They don't come in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not allowed in there.
Yeah. So I bought just recently. I got Mortal Kombat for the Switch, and I got a digital version because it was just easier than trying to get a card and losing it. Because honestly, I was going to lose.
Yeah. Well, I almost wish it was like what they do with movies, where they give you both. And
Yeah.
but they don't do that with games. I guess because they're afraid you're going to give the code away to someone else, and they're not going to make that money. But I wish they would. I think it would be easier to kind of get people to buy digital stuff if they kind of gave you the physical too.
Yeah, it would be really nice if I could buy something, get the digital, or get the like we do with movies a lot.
I've done that. Yeah, I bought movies and then send the code to Andrew, and Andrew will get the digital. copy.
It allows people to do more. Like you could do more online,
Yeah.
stuff, and they'll do that. So that's pretty awesome. All right, let's. I'm going to show these.
Now, hold on. You
Okay.
said, okay, so a lot of NES and stuff, but the 3,000 games or what all? Because I know before we get into pictures, there's
Yeah.
multiple game systems we've already seen that we're going to go through and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So,
Well,
what are your main ones that you'd like to have? And then kind of go down like,
Well, I'd say of my games, probably at least half of them are Nintendo consoles. Lots of Wii stuff, lots of DS and 3DS, Super Nintendo, N64. Even though N64 is not my favorite, I still like collecting for it.
Mhm.
But I also have a lot of stuff that I don't really care for too much. But when you're out there collecting, you just kind of accumulate like Xbox
Right.
stuff.
Yeah,
I don't really care about Xbox, but especially when you're out yard selling, you can't avoid it. So I've accumulated a lot of Xbox stuff over the years.
Yeah.
So
That
I heard several, but I didn't hear like a GameCube.
Oh no, yeah,
that's-
GameCube too. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
over here on the shelf, I've got like a bunch of GameCubes.
what? So you obviously I understand it. NES is your favorite, right?
hmm
So the original Nintendo. What do you have against the 64?
You know what? I just I didn't have one when I was growing up, so I don't really have that nostalgia for it. In fact, when I was in high school and the N64 was really big, I had my own NES website, and I was very much like anti N64. I think I was just kind of being a hipster about it. But I just couldn't stand like, oh, I can't stand these 3D graphics. They're taking all these great 2D franchises and making them 3D, and it's terrible.
Yes.
And-
Okay.
But I
So-
don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. It's just not my favorite.
So Sneakwin, she just said she still has a purple GameCube. I had a purple GameCube.
Yeah.
It was destroyed.
I remember that story. Yeah.
Yeah, it was destroyed, and I don't want to go into it. It was destroyed with a screwdriver. But I then got another one, and then I think we got a Wii after that, and a few years after we were living in Dallas, and we took the kids to my parents in Jacksonville. Then we went back to Dallas. Me and Barney went back to Dallas, and we went to GameStop and bought a Wii or a Wii U because we wanted to play Mario Kart. And I was like, we don't have the kids with us. We want to play Mario Kart. And it's always made me laugh. So, all right, we're going to show some of these photos and talk about these. These are pictures of actual thrift store, garage sales.
It's
stuff like
mostly
that.
yard sales. And, I say I'm a collector and I am, but I mostly consider myself a hunter. I
A
kind
hunter.
of just like going out and seeing what I can find. To me, that's the most fun.
It's all about the hunt. It's all about
That's-
the
Oh.
hunt.
Yeah, I enjoy
Absolutely.
doing that with my diecast stuff, just going hunting.
When
Yeah,
I
like-
started pre-ordering my Funko Pops, some of it I lost some of it because it's about the hunt.
Yeah, you can go on eBay and buy anything, but there's something about finding it in the wild, and then even just getting it for a great deal. I mean, there's a certain thrill to it.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at this. So this is just one of the hauls. These are some photos that you sent to me. This is one
This is one day of yard selling.
1 day of yard sales. Okay, so not all at the same yard sale. Obviously, Lisa, you got a regular Nintendo in here. You've got a gun.
Duck hunt gun. I mean,
Yeah, this mat. What's this mat for? It looks familiar, but I can't
At the
remember. what it's
power
actually-
pad?
Yeah, that's a power pad for an
Power
NES.
pad.
Okay, so you got the power pad. You've got a bunch of regular games in here. I see Ghostbusters, Mario 3. Is that a turtle game?
I think there's 2 Mario 3s in there.
Oh, there is. There's 2 Mario's 3. Directly up, is this a
Yeah.
turtle game? It looks like the Turtles game.
I think that's T2, the arcade game.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Turtles 2, the arcade game. Not
You-
Terminator 2.
You've got a Game Genie in here. How many Game Genies do you own?
Me, I think I just own 2.
Just own 2. So you
For
got
the
one
NES,
here.
Yeah, and I think I have one for the Genesis too, but I usually don't use the Game Genies when I play.
So Sneakwin, that is a duck hunt gun. She's just
Mhm.
commenting here. So you've got a bunch of Yoshis here. Do you you still have all these Yoshis?
No, actually, I should make it known when I go yard selling, I have a buddy that also goes out too, so we kind of go out together. So a lot of
Okay.
this is stuff that he finds too. And what we do is we kind of meet up at the end of the day and then just kind of divide everything up between us.
That
So
makes sense.
I think he actually ended up keeping all the Yoshis.
Okay, so you like I said, okay, so we mentioned this. You're in Georgia, so that does help,
Mm-hmm.
kind of break up what you're getting there. I'm trying to change the photo, and I'm clicking on the wrong arrow. It doesn't work when I click on the one in the live stream, so I got to pay attention to this one. So this is another day. Looks like you a little less on the cartridges, more on the discs in this day.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. You end up finding a lot of, Xbox stuff and
mhm.
a lot of Wii games you don't necessarily want, but it's kind of part of the bundle deal. So you kind of accumulate a lot of stuff like that.
You got
But
a lot of the DS games up
Yeah, I
there
was
too.
gonna
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You find a lot of DS games that were just like a little kids that he's grown up now and he just kind of wants to get rid of it. So
hmm
a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, I think with this particular picture, I think most of this was actually from one sale.
Oh, jeez.
wow. I see
Yeah.
the Zelda game for sure. That stands out.
Yeah,
The one that stands out the most to me is that Donkey Kong. The
Oh,
Donkey Kong.
Donkey
Yeah.
Kong 64.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Donkey Kong
64 yellow, the yellow
The
cartridge.
yellow
yeah.
cartridge.
There's the Zelda. I see the Zelda game. That's
Yeah.
a Link to the Past. That's right above it, and then
Mhm.
right a couple above it is Mario, Super Mario World.
Yeah, there's a Super Mario World in there, and I think there's a Super Game Boy at the very top.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that is. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like. Yeah. Obviously the Batman game that's right in the middle at the top there for the Xbox. I love those Lego games. They're a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Oh, and you have that's Batman 3, and then you've got the Batman for the Wii on the next row right below. You should have put those together. Also, so down at the very bottom down here, there's another Batman game, by the way. And I see there's a couple of Just Dances. How many Just Dance games do you have?
Oh gosh, I probably have all of them. Reluctantly though, I mean, yeah.
Do
you
you
have
play
a lot
all
of-
of them?
Huh?
Do you play them to make sure they all work?
Oh no.
All right.
Do you actually like have duplicates of games that are not like for the same system?
I try not to. What we usually do is we divide the games up between me and my buddy. And if there's a game that we both have, we usually try to sell it just to make back some of the money we spent. And a lot of times we find that we end up breaking even. So a lot of these games we don't even really pay that much for.
So two things. Dork Knight, sorry John, I'm gonna cover your face up.
You're fine.
Dork Knight, there's Final Fantasy 6 and 9 in this photo. And Rex Sneak One wants you to know that this is a safe zone. You can admit if you like to dance. There's no judgment here at all.
Oh no, I will say that like with the Wii, when all the Wii stuff came out and there was a lot of like the dance type games and the movement type, I hated that stuff. I think when you're playing a video game, you should do as little work as possible. Like especially when I got home. Yeah, when I go home from work at the end of the day, I'm done doing that stuff. I don't want to do any of that. So yeah, those dance games, DDR, that was never for me.
Okay.
I didn't know that. With Wii, I've got my Wii and just playing Skyward Sword and stuff. You're always doing something. You're moving around and everything. Yeah.
Well, they just announced that they're re-releasing Skyward Sword for the Switch, and they're giving you the option to not use the motion controls. So that's probably what I'm going to do.
Well, see, I was wondering how that was going to work if you're using it as a handheld and you're playing like this, and then you're got to do all this.
Yeah. I they're doing a weird thing where like for the movement you have to use the right joystick instead. So because that game's all about like precisely moving the wand.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that game. I know it's one of the worst Zelda games when they're all rated.
Oh, I love Skyward Sword.
I
Yeah,
kinda like it.
I do too. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Yes, here we go. Next game. Oh, we got a good cartridge day here.
Good ones here.
Let's see.
1123 said they just took a whole bin full of PS2 and GameCube games to Goodwill.
Oh no.
That kind of hurts a little,
Yeah. Well, it kills me what Goodwill does with a lot of games is they have their own website called shopgoodwill.com, which is it's like an eBay type thing. So they put a lot of their games that they get on their eBay store, basically.
Yeah. So, all right, John, first thing, look at the top.
Yeah.
There's two Zelda games right at the top up there for you. The first one, the original, and Link 2.
And
So-
Link to the Past.
Both of those.
Both?
There is
the second one. Yeah.
So there's obviously two Super Mario Super Mario 3s right next to it. Is that Dr. Mario? That looks
Where's
like
that?
Dr. Mario, right beside the Super
Oh,
Mario.
you're right. Yeah,
3.
you're right. That is Dr. Mario. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what years of looking at video games does. You can see a little piece of something to be able to tell what it is.
Well, right here you got the Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Right, and then Paperboy beside it.
Yeah,
Two paper boys.
two paper boys.
Oh, there is two Paperboys. So, and then right above that first Paperboy that's not in the case, you see what that one is. There's my turtle game. No.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
ice hockey, but
And
there's
then
the
the
turtle
turtle game.
arcade. Yeah. So there's that.
I remember playing Paperboy.
You got
Oh.
Excite Bike. Is that what that one is?
Yep, Excite Bike.
Yep.
Excite Bike. Yeah. RBI baseball.
You've got another Mario at the very end there also.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is probably like the 5th Mario 3 that we've come across in just these photos alone.
Probably, yeah. Okay, so we've made it here, and I was wondering if this was going to come up. I didn't look at all these photos before we started. I looked at one of them, and it was like, yeah, we're going to show these. Techno Bowl. There's an interesting thing that you do with Techno Bowl every year.
Oh yeah.
And I want the history behind it. How long have you been doing this, and how it works? So,
I've probably been doing this for 15 years, but every year before the Super Bowl, I'll just run a simulation with Tecmo Bowl and kind of make my prediction that way. I would say the first 4 or 5 years it got it dead on. It got it right. Lately, not so much though.
yeah.
Like I ran it this year, and it had the Chiefs killing the Buccaneers. And
Now,
Oh, that didn't work out.
no,
No.
do you update Techno Bowl so that it has newer stats with the players? Like,
Well,
was
there's
this
a
the Brady Broncos or Buccaneers?
yeah,
Not
there's a
Broncos.
Tecmo Bowl website where someone will go and update the game every year, and you can actually download the game, play it with an emulator, and it's the current rosters.
Okay.
So I usually try to do that. In fact, sometimes you kind of have to because there's teams that exist now that didn't exist, back when the original game came out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't think about the fact that teams didn't exist back then. I just assumed teams always exist, and then next year the Kraken come out in NHL, and I'll forget all about that again. All right, so by the way, Peking said that Goodwill's going to find good homes for all of them. So
Yeah.
And then you got some Star Wars figurines.
I want to point out, the Star Wars figures down there. You got
And
it's a
Pokemon.
trap. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What's the trouble?
you guys are big toy
Yeah.
people, and I buy toys occasionally when I find something I like, and I think I just saw those and just said, you know what, I'll give these a good home.
You need, if you see more of things like that, you need to let us know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just-
well,
is that-
no,
is that-
actually,
Greedo, that's to the right there,
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like that's Greedo, Palpatine.
Akbar, I believe.
and General
Akbar,
Akbar. Yeah.
Wait, I know we're talking video games, but I wanted to show you this. I found it.
Oh,
Oh, Andrew,
For-
there you go.
Oh
for a
my
quarter.
gosh!
This was 25
quarter?
cents. Yeah.
If you ever want to get rid of that, you have to let me know, because that's Donnie, obviously. And I had that bike growing up. We talked about this on our podcast.
Andrew will double what you paid for it. So
I'll triple it. I'll quadruple it. I'll give you a whole $1.
Okay, we'll talk later.
We need to talk about that. All right, so let's see. What is this Kingdom Hearts thing that's at the bottom of this? Obviously, a huge game.
That's like I think it was a GameStop pre-order. It's like a little flag thing. I think I still have it somewhere, but yeah, I think they just kind of threw that in there for free.
Okay. Obviously, is that a 3DS?
Yeah, that's a 3DS XL.
Okay, that's the bigger one. Okay.
Mhm.
What's that beside it?
Oh, that's a Walkman. I was excited when I found that.
Oh,
And then
wow.
it's
I
been
don't
so
even remember
long.
what they look like.
It's been so long, and it doesn't have headphones. Like in that
Right.
that angle, it's hard to tell what it is.
well, at the time I was starting to get back into collecting like cassettes, so I'm like, oh, this works out perfectly, and it didn't work, so I just threw it out.
but there you go. Yeah, Sneak One
And there's
says that I'm assuming she's talking about that Kingdom Hearts background.
Yeah.
Make a good background for pictures. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it was for Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it had like Woody from Toy Story on it.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say, John?
I was going to point out you went from a Walkman and then it got an MP3 player over there.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah, that's a iPod Nano, I think.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's one of the earlier iPods. So
Yeah, I remember my wife was with me when we bought that, and when we were driving, we were listening to the music because she still left the music on there, and we're like, wow, this person has the worst taste in music.
that's you really judge a person by the music they listen to. So.
Oh, you could tell a lot about someone.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I feel
Banjo
like
Kazooie.
There's your
It's a lot of
GoldenEye
John. There's your
007.
John. Which one of you said you like N64?
I like N64.
Oh, Andrew. Okay, Andrew.
Yeah.
There's your N64 stuff.
This is a lot of N64. That NASCAR 2000 game right there. I played a lot of that, and I still remember, Michael, the day that Rainey came in and asked us why we physically turned while we're
we'd be racing. We would
start to turn. Yeah, so
you do it with Mario Kart too.
Oh yeah, you definitely do it with Mario Kart, but it doesn't show as much with Mario Kart because you're going back and forth. Whereas NASCAR, you always turn left. You just turn left. Always turn left. All right, so here we've got obviously all these 64 games. You got that Banjo-Kazooie and the Star Fox 64 books. I had both of those. Kingdom Hearts books above it, and at the very bottom are these inserts from the games.
Yeah, there's some inserts. Because when I went to the sale, it was kind of just someone's garage, and there was kind of just junk everywhere. So I had to basically assemble all these N64 games. I'd be like, oh, there's a random manual here, there's a cartridge here, there's a box here. So I kind of spent a good 1 hour at the sale, just kind of dumping everything to a big box. And then when I got home, I kind of had to piece everything together.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. We're going to work our way all the way to the top, to those top two things at the very top. But Dork Knight did point out WCW versus NWO.
Right.
There's it. Right next to it, Banjo-Kazooie, which I love that game. And then right next to it, between that and that NASCAR game, that's a Star Wars pod racer game.
That's that pod racing. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
They're re-releasing that? Is that what I heard?
Yes. Yeah, so did they already? I feel like they might have already re-released it.
They might have, but I remember when I heard that announcement, I was surprised. I didn't realize that many people had like a fondness for it.
It was a lot of fun. It was just different, and it was the only part of the original movie that you could completely take that out of episode 1, and the movie was, besides Jar Jar, was just fine. But it was just a fun part of the movie that wasn't anything specific. Just kind of showed that Anakin had, some skills, but that was about it. So, yeah. All right, let's move all the way to the top of this photo.
Let's talk about the Ataris up there.
That's more Michael's speed here. So
yeah, that's an Atari 800 XL in the box with the disk drive and just probably 20 or 30 diskettes. I think I got it for like $20. I think it was a pretty good deal, but I was certain it wasn't going to work because they said, "Oh yeah, it's been in our garage for the past 25 years. We haven't really touched it." So I figured I'll take a chance on it. And so later that weekend, I plugged it up, and it works just fine.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of those old consoles, they're kind of bulletproof when it comes to stuff like that. Like they keep on working.
Yeah, I mean, I know the new ones won't. You can run over them and they still won't work, or they'll still work. But
oh yeah, the Xbox 360. If you just look at the Xbox 360 wrong, it'll crap out on you.
All right, let's see. Obviously, a couple memory cards for the 64 because that's how we had to save. In your controller, which is a little weird, but it's all good. And then there was something else in here that I was going to point out, and I don't know what it is.
I think there's a Game Boy Color right there.
Oh yeah, there it is. The Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color, yeah, the yellow.
So many good games. All right, so here we go. This is obviously we're in the.
This is fairly recent. I think this was sometime last summer.
I was about to say, so you've got a lot of Switch games.
Yeah, and it's rarely do I ever see Switch games, but this guy was just getting rid of his entire Switch. He said he was in the army, so he was moving soon, so he was just selling his entire collection.
Okay. Wow.
And he gave me a good deal too. I think I got everything in this picture for like $100.
Oh wow!
Hey, you got two of those Link.
Oh, the amiibos, yeah.
Amiibos up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think John wants one. I think that's what he's going for.
I don't have any.
I don't know if you know, John's a huge Zelda fan. Like we all are, but John has a sword and shield.
I just finished playing Link's Awakening for the Switch.
Oh, I played that recently too. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I haven't played that one yet. So.
I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it on the Game Boy, but like I don't remember it being this good. Maybe it was, and I just didn't realize it. But yeah, it was really good.
I think there's one thing that I was going to do on mine to finish it up, and it has to do with getting all the shells. I don't think I got all the shells.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I didn't bother collecting everything. I just kind of finished the game.
Yeah, so when I play those games, I like to finish them. Like I'm very much a completist. I like to do as much of everything I can, which is why I still have my save game on our Wii for Breath of the Wild, trying to get all those damn Kuroku seeds.
Were you the one that told me that you were like one hit away from beating, I think, Twilight Princess? It was like one of those games, and you just had it saved.
No, it was not that one. What is it? It's the
Or Skyward Sword, maybe.
Maybe it's Skyward Sword. Yeah. So because that's the one that has the demon thing in the middle of the circular.
Yeah. You're just climbing. That thing.
I was one hit away from beating him for the longest, and then finally did it. So I could say I beat it. So you got some controllers here. Obviously, it looks like we're getting into some PlayStation stuff. And PS3. I guess whoever this PS3, yeah. So whoever you got this from looks like he was a frequent fan of GameStop, because a lot of these came from GameStop. So.
He might have robbed a GameStop for all I know. I didn't really ask him.
Also, I understand you bought this from him. Hopefully he didn't have two Spider-Mans. Why would you need two Spider-Mans?
Good question. I don't know. I know a lot of times, like if parents have kids, they'll buy, here's one for you and here's one for me, but I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
All those rich kids that don't have to share the same console.
Oh,
yeah.
Peking brought up you could play it twice. You got two games, you can play it twice. You play it again after you played it the first time.
Yeah, play it again. There's a little bit different of a stack, but this is a nice look at how
I remember this day because I had gone out early, and I think I had about $100 with me. And the very first sale I went to, I said, and this is a good piece of advice. You have to ask. Don't just go by what they have put out. You have to ask them if they have video games, because a lot of times they'll go back in the house and they'll pull stuff out. Mm-hmm. So I asked them, "Do you have any video games?" And they pulled out like a big tub of games, and they wanted $100 for everything. So I gave them $100 and I went back home, and that was my day. One sale.
Did you look through them before you're like, hey, okay?
I kind of skimmed through them. I saw enough in there that I knew I wanted and that I didn't have, and that was easily worth $100. So yeah.
This is a huge stack of games.
Yeah, there's another Mario 3 in there too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there's actually two Mario 3s in there.
Yeah, there's
one other yellow. Yeah, the yellow one there. Okay, I see it.
And is that Mario Paint above the 64 games? Okay.
Yes, and I think I have another picture that we can talk about that.
Okay. Let's see. There. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this was all at one sale too. It was an estate sale. We got there kind of late because they had advertised video games. And a lot of times when a sale advertises games, you show up and there's 10, 20 people there kind of rummaging through everything. So we didn't really make it a priority to go to this one. So we kind of showed up late, and the only thing left was all these copies of Mario Paint. So I just bought them all because I thought it was funny.
This is definitely somebody who lost their Mario Paint and had to continue to buy it. Now, I do want to point out, first off, Peking says in the 80s, all suburban households were issued a Mario 3 upon the release. That makes sense. But looking at these games, these are all the same game, and obviously had to have been issued at different times because the cartridges are different. You've got 4 of one style and 3 of another style cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're right. I see that now. I didn't even notice that. You're right.
What do you know anything about? I'm gonna have to look this up. Do you know anything about when they changed these, or why they would have changed these? Or which one was first? I don't even know which one was first.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's actually a great question. I never really thought about that.
I'm gonna have to look that up because that's very interesting.
Yeah, no, yeah. I just now noticed that the bottom part of the cartridge is different. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people were pulling them out, and so the ones that are at the top that just have the one slit were first. And people were pulling them out, breaking them, and they're like, screw it, less plastic.
Well, people with label variants, people get very nerdy about it. People will try to collect every different possible label variant. There's a very famous one for Super Mario Brothers 3 where the logo says Super Mario Brothers, but the brothers is on the left side of the logo instead of the right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just little things like that that people collect.
That's interesting. Like that's the same way with like Funko and Pops. Like you want to get all the variants, even though they're all the same stance. They just maybe have different stickers on them. So that's
and sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes it's a misprint. You know, it's always kind of weird, like the kind of stuff you'll see.
I'm flipping back through these to make sure we got all the pictures because I feel like we missed. Yeah, so like we didn't talk about this one. Okay. This is a good. There's Mario 2. There's Mario 3. This is a good day.
And I think this actually goes with. There's 2 other photos where there's consoles, and I think that's part of it too.
So you got just your games, and then you took consoles. So
yeah, and this was all from one sale too.
Okay, so here's Tecmo Super Bowl. You got it on here.
Mm-hmm.
That Aladdin game. I remember that Aladdin game on Genesis. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's a great game. Yeah, they re-released that one too.
Oh, nice. All right.
Of course, you got Mega Man. Can't go wrong with Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
No. Can't go wrong with Mega Man.
There's another Mario 3.
There's There's Super Mario at the top.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Link to the Past. No, not a Link to the Past. The Adventures of Link.
Adventures. And there's another Zelda game up here at the top.
Oh, yeah, that's the Super. That's a Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
Tetris 2.
Tetris 2.
Tetris 2.
And is that the original? That is the original Metroid down towards the bottom. That's before Stamets came out of her shell. When she was wearing all the armor. It's one of the originals. So there's the original Turtles game over here by this.
I was waiting how long it would take for you to point that one out.
I just saw it, and I just now realized that you can see my cursor.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't know you can see it. That maybe helps out a little bit. So yeah, this is the Turtles game that drove me crazy because you had to go down in the sewers and like it was crazy because then you'd come up and you had to walk around the little I don't know.
Yeah, most people kind of seem to not like the swimming level in that game.
Yes, the swimming level. That's it. Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting level, but I liked it.
The game itself was a lot of fun. It was just a big difference from the way that games were being released at that time. Mm-hmm. Where you've got 2 different kind of gameplays. You've got the one that's above the sewer and above stuff, and then you go down to the little manholes and play the level that way. So I also want to point out if any of the dorks been around, I don't know if they are. Here's Punch Out. So they talk about Punch Out a lot. So there's that. More Mario. How many Mario games do you have?
Probably just about all of them.
7 versions or seven of every single one of them. Wow. All right, so you've got Wii games here. This is another good day.
Well, this was from the same cell as the previous picture.
Okay, so you got the same cell. These are just out of your cons or out of your cassettes into your
I
cartridges.
We got so much stuff that we had to take separate pictures. I couldn't fit it all in one.
So 2 things that stand out to me in this picture. First off is Batman. Is that Arkham Knight? I can't really read it. I believe it is.
Where is it?
It's
right there next to Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
So there's that one. I just recently beat that game. It's a lot of fun. And then also Zelda down here at the bottom. So this is Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess, yeah.
This is the only Zelda game that I've never played.
Really?
You haven't played that one?
I've never played that one. Every time I tried to get it for the Wii, I think John had it or you had it, Michael, and I never borrowed it.
I got it on my Wii U now.
They did an HD remake of it for the Wii U.
Yeah, I've been trying to see if I can get a bunch of them for the Switch, and that's just one that I haven't gotten. So here's our consoles. I guess that go with that one, right? So 2 64s for the guy who doesn't like 64s. He buys 2 of them. And is there one in the box too? Because I guess
no.
3.
No, I think that's actually. I think it's just 2. Yeah, I think that's just an empty box.
Okay, so a Super, a Sega, a regular, and then for the Super, that's a mouse. What
yeah,
is
it's to go with all those Mario paints. Yeah.
Mhm.
that?
Oh, okay.
Did you not know that, Michael? That you could.
I never
use the
knew there was a
mouse?
mouse to it. Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
played Mario Paint, so I didn't.
I mean,
know.
they took the mouse, they turned it into a controller basically, and it's.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if we ever had one. I just remember it was kind of
No, we
interesting.
didn't.
We
I
didn't.
never had one.
And is that the mouse pad that goes underneath? That's underneath it.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the one and only game that made it into this picture, which is pod racing.
Yeah. Just talking about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So they just stand out when you see them. So.
Oh, and don't forget the best thing of all on the top left.
Oh yes, Toadstool. Totally.
Yeah.
It left my mind for a second. Toadstool up there. All right. So a couple questions for you. We talked about Tecmo Bowl, which is a lot of fun. I think that I didn't do it the last couple of years. I haven't really been on Facebook a lot. But I used to check your Facebook even after you moved to Georgia and I moved to Denver about your Tecmo Bowl and who would win. Cause I just thought that was such a great.
Well, I didn't post it this year because I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't want to be.
I think you still should have posted it. You'd be like, "Hey, if the Super Bowl doesn't happen, this is who's actually going to win." There you go.
Yeah, well, like I'm a big Tom Brady fan, so I was rooting for Brady all the way. Although I love Mahomes. Don't get me wrong, Mahomes he's a local guy and he's a cool guy and all, but I was pulling for Brady.
You'd be surprised at how much Mahomes is a local guy around here.
When I worked at KTK, I almost had the chance to meet him. Like we were gonna shoot a promo with him. This is when he was still in high school, and then at the last second, I think his dad backed out of it. So I never got that chance.
So his dad lives in the same apartment complex I do, just like right about 100 yards from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my dog craps in his yard every day. It's great. I love it. Because I don't like Mahomes, but I mean, I don't have anything big against him. It's more of that everybody around here loves him so much. So, okay. So how do you keep these clean? How do you keep all your video games and stuff clean?
Usually when I get them, I'll wipe them down with just some Windex, not too much, and a paper towel. I clean all the cartridges with just rubbing alcohol on the Q-tip. For boxed games, I usually put them in plastic box protectors. I get kind of like what you'll do for like Funko Pops.
Mm-hmm.
And I just try to store them properly and just keep them in plastic tubs and just try to take good care of them. Goo Gone, do you guys use Goo Gone for anything?
I have used it before.
Occasionally, yeah, I have.
That stuff is a miracle. When I discovered that, it kind of changed my life with collecting because you can get any sticker off of any game with that. Okay. So I usually use a lot of Goo Gone for stuff like that.
So all those GameStop stickers you try to get off.
Oh yeah, well, especially the GameStop one. The GameStop ones are more adhesive than other ones. I don't know what it is, but they're very hard to get off.
They're on there to stay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here you go. Our bud Ed says Goo Gone comes in handy, which I agree. Yeah. Before because I want to talk about how you keep the consoles and stuff clean and everything. But Peking mentioned the first Zelda game that made Link right-handed. What game is that?
Twilight Princess.
Or Twilight Princess, what we're talking about when he posted that.
Oh, okay. So,
because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the GameCube version and the Wii version were a little different. Like it was inverted. Isn't that how it was? I never played the GameCube one.
I had GameCube and I used it with my Wii, so I never played the Wii version. I always had the GameCube version, so I couldn't tell you.
I'd have to go back and look and really play again. Go see which ones. That's going to be in my next study guide.
I'm trying to think. Like I never realized Link wasn't right-handed, so I'm trying to think back, and I'm trying to picture things.
Yeah, so, I never knew it either. Never paid attention to that.
I'm gonna have to look at that. Another thing by Peking here mentioning no more Be Kind Rewind stickers on games previously owned by Blockbuster.
Oh, that's a different story. Those are impossible to get off. Those are impossible.
Interesting story about Blockbuster. I used to work for Dish, who owns Blockbuster. I used to wear my Blockbuster T-shirt all the time. There's the answer about right-handed.
Yeah.
He had to become right-handed when the Wii came out because most players are right-handed. Yeah. I just didn't realize he was left-handed. Like I just maybe I just didn't realize it. I don't know.
It's not something I ever paid attention to.
I'm gonna try to pay more attention to it now and see. I don't know.
I'm gonna go replay all my games and
Tonight. You got to replay all of them tonight, John.
so don't tempt me.
So Rex, how do you keep your consoles clean?
The only thing I really do is just kind of wipe them down every now and then. Especially the ones that you keep out, they collect dust. Especially if you keep them in a room out in the open. A lot of people put like covers over the consoles. I usually don't do that. But yeah, just wipe them down every now and then, just like any collectible.
Just any kind of thing, just keep it wiped. And then I know there may be a few younger people watching. I don't know age difference, but if you don't know the blowing technique, you're young enough. Like that's something that when you buy these, is that something you immediately do on all the old cartridges?
I have. Even though they tell you not to do it, I'm still going to do it because I've always done it.
I mean, I felt like when we were growing up, they were like, "Hey, if the game doesn't work, you blow into it."
Oh no, I would do it until I would get a headache and pass out, just because I wanted to play the game.
So I know this works, and we keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that. You got to blow into it. You blow into the system, and then there's the other one where you push the game like most of the way in,
almost
barely out
at the edge.
You pop it in, and somehow that makes them work. I don't know why. I don't know who started that.
And there was a trick that someone taught me for the NES, and I didn't know this as a kid. But you put the game in, and then you hit reset like 3 or 4 times, and then eventually it'll work.
I've heard that one before too. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I need to try that on the one you gave me because.
Is it not working?
We hooked it up once, it didn't come up, and I got distracted with other stuff.
Okay, so
I need to try it again.
Dork Knight he remembers blowing into the cartridges and the console and pushing it down. So yeah, Dork Knight, you're right at that age, Dave, that should remember that. So
yeah, kids these days they don't know the struggle we had.
They don't know the struggle. I mean, how are you gonna make like the Switch games that are this big? How are you gonna make that not work? You have to like dig into it with something.
Yeah, and if we wanted to play a game, we had to, go out and buy a new one. We couldn't just download, a game for, $5, 99 cents free. So,
well, right.
Andrew, what you were just talking about the Switch games and the small cartridges. I mean, we went from cartridges to discs
to technically SD cards because that's technically what they are now. But it's kind of a cartridge, so much different. But yeah, so the discs. I remember when the PlayStation discs came out because they have the black back, and I was like, "How does this work? I don't even know how. I don't know how CDs work in the first place." But I tried to figure that out, and it was weird to me. So, yeah, lots of people. Anybody have any questions about video games? Like, we've got a good group of people watching. Ed, I know you collect all kinds of stuff. So if you've got anything, PlayStation 1 discs for the absolute easiest to bootleg. Was it a copy thing, Ed, that allowed that? Do you know anything about that, Rex?
Yeah, well, I had friends that had like bootleg PlayStation consoles and just like a stack full of CDRs. Because yeah, they're you could just copy them very easily.
Yeah, so you could there you go. Maybe that's why they won't give us the digital thing now. They're trying to make up for all those bootlegs. Yeah. This will load any disc into a CDR. Oh my gosh! See, this is me. I'm a huge Nintendo side. I think John and Michael both are too.
Right.
I played a PlayStation 1 like when I don't know a long time ago, and then the kids have an Xbox, but I have a Switch. Like it's mine. So
I've always had Nintendo, except for the Atari 2600. After that was all Nintendo. And then a buddy of mine, when I'd go visit him, we would play our racing games, and he had an Xbox and a PlayStation too. But I've never owned either one of them. I've always had Nintendo products. So
the kids wouldn't have had this Xbox if their grandmother wouldn't have bought it for them.
So then SW Pop Lover put a story on there.
Oh, here we go. Let's pull this up. If it clicks right there, you go. Where'd it go? It went away. Sorry. A story about the cartridges for NES. I had a friend down the street. The box of cartridges got left on the wood stove, and plastic melted off. But he found he could still play them by sticking the inner components into his Game Genie to get. Oh my gosh!
NES games are resilient. They're tough.
They are.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. So all right. So with that, I'll we're gonna start wrapping this up, but I will tell the story about my GameCube real quick. So I had a purple one. It was at my girlfriend's house. We broke up. She returned it to me in a box with a screwdriver about this long through it. And then I just pulled the screwdriver out, cried over the GameCube for a few minutes, and then threw the GameCube away. I still have the screwdriver. It's a great screwdriver. It's a flathead. I've had it for like 17 years now.
So she did you a favor in a way.
Yeah. I mean, hey, yeah. So I was gonna say, if you need to make a screwdriver go through a system, there's certain ways it just slides right through. So
well, the question begs, Andrew, what did you do to merit that kind of response?
Yeah, we broke up. That was about it.
Okay.
She just didn't like that. I was
Were you on there too often?
I probably was.
Like ignoring her?
I took it to her house and played it at her house. So I was
with her or
you
just
forgot it.
Yeah. I can't guarantee that I was playing the video game with her. I don't know.
You took it, hooked it up, started playing. She felt ignored, and then you forgot it.
Exactly.
Then you broke up with her. Yeah.
Well, the lesson is, if you're going to break up with someone, get all your stuff out first.
Yeah, take your games with you first, and then you do it.
That was after I moved to Dallas, so I don't even remember. Yeah, see, Ed feels it. He had an ex keep his PS2. It still hurts. So the only reason why mine doesn't hurt anymore, Ed, is because I just replaced it. I was like, screw it. I got a better life now, and I just replaced it. Yeah, she had to destroy it. Too much external darkness there. She had to destroy that game. So, all right, any other like hints or anything about finding good stuff, finding good deals, where to, anything like that? You want to share with us, Rex?
This is what I would say. Especially right now, like ever since COVID started, two things have happened. Number one, more people are buying games. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, games are just harder to find. And because more people are buying them, prices of used games, especially old school stuff, has kind of skyrocketed. So right now, if you're wanting to buy used games on eBay or through game stores, you're going to be paying premium for them. So I would advise people, if it happens in your area and you're comfortable doing it, I would say go yard selling. It's usually where you can get the best deals at. But bring plenty of cash with you, because I've had plenty of times where I go out and I run out of cash real early and I just have to go home because I'm done.
Yeah, like the one that you hit first sale, $100. There you go.
Right.
Awesome. Like that's I don't know how many garage sales are still happening. I haven't looked in quite a while. I need to start looking at stuff, because obviously I always enjoyed going and just trying to find some toys or whatever was going on. So.
I mean, I find like old toys all the time. So if there's anything you guys are looking for in particular, just let me know.
We're looking for everything.
Any old toys. All you gotta do is hit us up. Hey, I found this. Okay, send it to us.
Yeah, we got a whole podcast where
we'll talk about
old toys.
everything later.
So we'll get through details on that stuff later and everything. So, all right, I guess. I mean, John, Michael, you have anything you want to add? Rex, anything you want to add before we...
Well, I have one question for you guys.
Okay.
Because you guys grew up in the same household, obviously. And how far apart are you guys in age?
All 3 years. 3 years apart.
3 years with me being the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, so
three each direction.
3 on each side.
Andrew is 6 years younger than me.
So when you guys played, N64 or anything, did you guys get into a lot of fights?
So NES, when we first got that, Michael liked to be Mario, or once we got to where we could do it, I was always Luigi.
Yeah.
Andrew, I think, ended up with that later on. So
I still play with Luigi.
Yeah. So, well, you didn't have anyone else to.
Either way, I was always Mario. So.
Right. Yeah. So Michael was always Mario. Then I was always Luigi. It's probably why I love Donatello so much. When we played the turtle game, he's the one that not a lot of people picked Donatello, and I picked Donatello because
Yeah, in that first Turtles game, he was the best character.
yeah, I loved him. I thought it was great. He's got the most reach with his bow staff, with the exception of Leonardo and his swords. I mean, what does a nunchuck give you, and what does a sai give you? So, yeah. I think that's where we all ended up. We played a lot of games. I think we did pretty well together with the three of us. Me and Michael love to play racing games, so because we're both NASCAR fans.
Racing games, or we played GoldenEye quite a bit too. Yeah.
GoldenEye. Me and John played a lot of GoldenEye together.
Yeah. A lot of Zelda.
I was going to say
all of us,
lots of
but
Zelda.
I remember us all working together to figure out the maps and stuff, especially for the
yeah.
original. And whoever was playing, one of us was sitting there usually, guiding through with the map or looking at different things, or even.
Can you imagine that now, John? As one of us is playing, the other one's looking at the map on their phone. Go left, go right. It'd be so much easier.
Yes, I can, because my daughter does it with, or was doing it with me. We haven't played in a little while like that. So
yeah, I think we were actually pretty good about it. So
yeah,
shout out to our parents for raising us that way. So
yeah, I remember staying up late playing a lot of times too, and beating games quicker than probably should have because we stayed up so late.
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't like that with my brother. We got into a lot of fights over games.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of threatening to ground us and stuff like that.
No, I think with us, we have a really good relationship, and it started off by the way our parents did everything. But even now, when we get together, we just have fun. And
yeah, it's just all that.
We had our wrestling moments and stuff like that.
Yeah, we would fight about things, but I don't think we ever fought over the video game stuff.
Yeah,
so.
No, we didn't want it taken away.
It was just stupid things I think we fought over. Everything else, like toys and stuff like that, we never really argued over that. So
I don't think we ever fought over anything that was serious enough that it was actually like a fight. It was more of just like, just like you said, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to raid MacDuck. Since we're going to just kind of pass on Nerdy Curious, we're going to raid MacDuck over there. So when you go over, anybody know what the Geek Together raid is?
Hashtag Geek Together Raid.
Oh, is it Geek Together Raid? Hashtag Geek Together Raid?
I think so, maybe so.
All right, so feel free to stay. It looks like he is playing some soccer. He's playing FIFA 21. So we're going to get that raid going. Everybody have a great night. We will be back next.
Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being with us.
As long as Damien doesn't cancel us, we will be back next week. I don't know what we're talking about, but everybody have a great night. Be sure to drop that hashtag over on MacDuck as it's starting to get going. I don't know if it's ready to go. So lots of fun. Thanks, Rex, for being on. Thanks, Michael and John, for being here with us too.
Yep.
And it's doing its little countdown. 17 viewers ready to raid. It's taking its time. Sorry, this is just like wasting time at this point. Peking. Why is it not raid together? I don't know. You have to ask Damien that. Let's do raid together. Do that. Do a hashtag raid together. Let's do it.
All right.
We're gonna change it. My thing is counting down very slowly. I don't know. It's like long seconds. Is yours already gone, John?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, his already gone. Mine's counting down very slowly. I don't know. So it's hashtag raid together. It's just slow. So
let's go with the raid.
Look.
Go. How's it going? Thank you very much for the raid.
There we go. So we can hear John's raid going because we were live on both Toy Rewind and Geek Together. So that's why his probably went a little faster. I don't know why mine's going slow. Still got it all froze up about this time last week too.
There's another button you got to push.
No, I'm waiting for it to come up. It still says like 4 seconds and it's being very slow. I don't know. This is the reason Damien's gonna. Oh, here we go. There we go.
There we're going.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
You're through.
Thanks.